Oh, excuse me. What's going on, everybody? Saturday morning, a rainy Saturday morning here in Ohio. Been a busy weekend with Black Friday going on everywhere. Been busy weekend at work at Tiger Fitness. They're smashing all kinds of sales records and busy weekend personally. I've ran some Black Friday deals and those are doing really well. So I just rolled out of bed. I was up late last night, didn't get enough sleep. I'm down here in my little training studio in Lebanon, Ohio. Have a client coming in at 1:30 today. So I'm going to sit on here and do a Q&A for about an hour. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. I'm going to try to get some coffee in while you guys are talking to me. So how's everybody doing this morning? I got to get my butt back in the gym, got to get my butt into a regular schedule. I've been slacking a lot lately. My training has been inconsistent, and then we have a lot of nasty weather around here. So before I get into everybody's questions, excuse me, what's going on, Antonio Charles? Before I get in anyone's questions, just a reminder, if I missed your question, post it up again. If I missed your question, you can also hit me up at Instagram at Ben the Barman. You can send me a DM. I try to answer every question on there, or you can hit up my Massive Iron Facebook group. What's going on, Omar, Sergio? And just a reminder, I got some Black Friday deals I'll be posting up down below this video after this video is done. And it's a pretty sweet deal. You get a free month of coaching, That's with a 4-month commitment. And I said I was going to take 10 clients. I got like 4 left. 6 slots have been taken. If you are interested in one-on-one help, do not wait. Those are going to go by the end of today. And again, I'll post up the link below. If you go over to my site, Super Living Today, and purchase a t-shirt or a hoodie, you get 3 free books: my bench press course, my power muscle block course, and massive iron. And if you need an exercise form assessment, a workout assessment, a diet assessment, those are $10 off through Cyber Monday over at Super Living Today. All right, let's get on to questions, guys. Enough of the commercial. If I miss your questions, hit me up again. Charles says, how to know when to increase your food surplus? That's a very good question. And to ground that question, you need to understand how much muscle mass you have currently. Excuse me. And at that point, then you can understand how aggressively you should bulk at all. So if you're maybe like 10 pounds of muscle mass away from your natural potential, you really can't expect to gain more than half of that in the coming year, which is 5 pounds. With that in mind, there's probably no point in gaining more than a pound a month if you are training hard. So you need to understand how much muscle mass you have already, and compare that to your natural, how much muscle mass you have already compared to your natural potential. If you have a lot of mass, there's probably no point in gaining a pound per month. And if you're feeling hungry all the time and you're trying to build muscle and strength, you probably either need to increase the food volume, meaning more vegetables, more things like cauliflower, rice, or you probably need to maybe move away from so many refined flours and sugars and processed foods and switch to more natural foods and more food bulk. That can be a change that you need to make as well. Good morning, Sergio. Good morning, Omar. Carl. Carl says, hope your Thanksgiving was well. It was good. Thank you. Brandon. Good morning, sir. Do you have plenty of stock 5XL items? I do not know, Brandon. I believe I have one shirt with 4XL. I can pick out, I have access to a lot of different shirt styles, and I can make a 5XL if I do not in a specific style. If you guys are interested in a 5XL, hit me up in DM on Instagram at Ben the Barman with the shirt type you want, and I can make it up for you. I can do that today. All right, what else we got? Morning, Dave. Morning, Dustin. Ben on Adventure. Ben on Adventure is always here. I appreciate your support. Hey, Steve, just hitting Saturday morning steady state. Get it done. I need to do some steady state. I wish it would stop raining and stop being so cold here in Ohio. Shivam, if I mispronounce your name, excuse me. Hey, Steve, what's the best way to overcome muscle imbalance, like imbalance in biceps? Get this question a lot, and there's really not a lot you can do. I've had a larger right bicep and a larger right thigh and a larger right forearm by anywhere from a, excuse me, half inch to an inch for the last 32 years. All you can do in the gym is focus on what you can control. The bigger you get your arms, the smaller that imbalance is going to look. When your arms are 12 and a half inches, a half inch difference between those arms is going to be more exaggerated. When your arms are 17 and a half inches, it's going to be less prominent. Just do a lot of barbell and dumbbell exercises, get your compound movements in, get strong, and that's all you can do. Don't worry about those imbalances. There's nothing you can do. Strength imbalances are kind of the same way. They do improve over time. They become a lot less noticeable. But the only thing you can do is the same thing everybody else does. Hit the gym and get a lot stronger. Will the Norwegian Frequency Project ever be officially published? I don't know. I don't know what to say to that one. Annabelle, what's your recommendation for creating a deficit in food or exercise to lose weight? That's a very good question. What I typically do when I'm working with my clients is we start with a baseline. We run the same amount of calories per day, 4 or 5 days. And we want to monitor the scale each day just to kind of see what the scale is doing at that level. Now, for women, I generally start about 1,600 calories, nothing crazy, maybe 1,700 calories if they're very fit. For large men, 2,600 calories. For skinnier men, that are a little bit skinny fat, but might still be 220. We probably start 2,400 calories. So I start with a baseline. And when you are reducing calories from there, typically it's going to come from carbs because I push my clients to keep their protein intake reasonable. When you are reducing calories, though, and you don't, as a woman, you probably want to reduce them 100 at a time, because sometimes you cannot lose weight at 1,600 calories as a woman, and then you drop them to 1,500, and guess what? You're back to a steady rate of weight loss. That's the way the weight loss game works. You have to make minor adjustments and wait and be patient for like a week or several days to see what the payoff is. I do recommend that when you make these adjustments down in calories, no matter who you are, you try to increase your food volume. Now, people will say, what's increasing my food volume? Well, you can get a package of cauliflower rice, which is this big, at Kroger or whatever grocery store you use, Walmart, and it has like 75 calories. You could literally eat 3 of those things for 225 calories. They would fill you up. Vegetables are a great way to increase your food volume. And when you are cutting calories, that's one of the best ways. I'm not sure if that answered your question, Annabelle, but if I didn't, you can hit me up in DM. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Thanks. Hope as well. Favorite Street Fighter character? I'm not a video game guy, to be honest with you. Video games give me motion sickness, and that's just an odd little quirk of mine. So I don't watch. I don't play video games. Annabelle, if you're trying to lose weight, should you eat back your calories burned? No. When you're trying to lose weight, you never ever look at energy expenditure. Anybody, me, you, anybody watching this video, you are supposed to move. Okay. You're supposed to move because not moving is unhealthy. So anybody, whether they're losing weight or not, should be getting at least 2 to 3 cardio sessions a week in some form, hiking, running, steady state cardio, something to get your heart rate elevated. That's what you should be doing. You should find your maintenance level at that. You should be doing resistance training. You should find your maintenance level with those things in place. Now, if you have a day where you go do something crazy, like you run, you do your cardio, you do your weights, and you do an extra 10K, like a 10K run, you do a lot of extra work, then you could eat a little bit more that day. But if you find that you burn 800 calories doing a 10K or whatever it is, don't eat all those calories back. I would just give yourself several hundred more because you just created a deficit. It's going to expedite the weight loss. Don't eat all those calories back. Doesn't make sense. All right. Let's see. Leg shake. Left one, especially when squatting with higher weights. Tips. That's a very good question. That's typically a central nervous system issue. One thing I would recommend trying, and that's a complex question that's hard for me to address in video, but a shaky leg is typically a central nervous system issue. So before your first set, I would probably take out that working weight and just unrack it and hold it for like 15 seconds to get your central nervous system primed. You could also put on, maybe 5% more than your first set. Put on 5% more weight before your first set. Walk it out. Just hold it on your back for like 10 seconds and then rack it. Just the process of holding that weight might fire your central nervous system up that much more and might help reduce some of the shakiness. It might not. Beyond that, some of the shakiness just could be, I'm not sure your experience levels, but there's some central nervous system adaptation when you're lifting weights. That's a normal part of the process. Sometimes all you need to do for that is just be patient. All right. If I sound a little froggy, have to excuse me. I just woke up and it's cold and wet here. A good day to be a duck, but hard day to breathe when you have sinus issues. Let's see. Steve says, "What's up, Steve? Do you think it's okay to do 2 body parts on a full body routine?" 2 body parts. Well, full body routine is a full body, so I'm a little bit confused by the question. No disrespect meant, but 2 body parts. That would be a body part split. A bro split or a body part split is basically where you do you have a focus on a major muscle group, and then to back it up, you can do whatever minor muscle groups make sense, because major muscle groups are back, shoulders, chest, and quads, and this is how I structure things. Minor muscle groups are biceps, triceps, traps, abs, hamstrings, calves, and if you want to work forearms. So you basically have 10 major or minor muscle groups. You can't split those up into a body part split, 1 per day. You have to do a major muscle group and then 1 to 2 minor muscle groups. So I'm not sure if that answers your question. Jay Donahue, thoughts on push-pull splits compared to individual days? It's a good idea. It really depends on your preferences, your experience level, your age, a lot of things. For beginners, a lot of folks focus on full body workouts. I try to move guys to more flexible programs that are cycle between upper lower type of days. I find those are easier for most people that go to college. Most people that have busy lives, they can alternate between upper A, upper B, lower B. Sometimes they work out 2 days a week because of their schedule. Sometimes they work out 4 days a week. So I find that for most people that are building, and haven't got to the really strong intermediate strength levels, an upper lower split is good. For somebody that has a lot of strength or is an older trainee, it's generally a little bit better, and this is a generalization, that's why I say generally, to do a bro split or a full body split, allow more recovery time, in between the big lifts. If you are somebody that's strong already, it's going to take you a long, long time in the gym to squeeze out those last pounds of muscle, to squeeze out 20 more pounds on your bench press. You're in it for the long haul at that point. So there is no point in trying to rush things. There is no point in trying to focus on optimization of muscle protein synthesis. That's not going to speed anything up. That's something you need to remember. So I'm not sure if that answers your question. Alexander is a new client of mine, and I appreciate him being on here. He is from Estonia. And just a reminder before I move on, that if you want some coaching, I have 4 slots left. First month is free. Check out the links below in this video. after the video is done, or check out my video the other day from Black Friday special. Alexander says, your opinion on eating before going to bed. Will sleep quality suffer? I find, and most people find, that if they do not go to bed feeling satisfied, that it is harder to sleep because the brain inherently wants to wake you up so you can go hunt and get your food and help you recover. When you're asleep, that's when the majority of your recovery takes place. So you want a lot of fuel in the tank when you rest. So there's also the case where some people eat too much before bed and their sleep can be jeopardized, where they might have some form of sleep apnea if they're overweight or sleeping. If you eat a lot before bed and don't hydrate properly, it can dehydrate you just slightly. So if you're going to eat a lot before bed, it's perfectly okay. Just make sure to hydrate as well and listen to your body. Make sure you're not eating too much that it's upsetting your sleep, but generally no. Omar says, will you ever consider doing some cooking videos on the channel? Actually, Omar, one of the things we're going to be doing in the new year is we're going to be doing cooking videos upstairs, and those will be on my site, Super Living Today. Those will be free. I don't like to put cooking videos on this channel because, quite frankly, very few people want to see my ugly face do cooking videos. But the percentage of people that are interested in cooking, and I love to cook. Cooking is one of my passions in life, and I mean real cooking. For those of you that want to see it, I will be putting those up for free on my site, Super Living Today, starting relatively soon. I'm not gonna start with complicated stuff. I really want to do simple ideas for folks that make life and healthy eating easier. Dustin says, where do you guys go hiking so often? I also live in the Cincinnati area and don't know where to go. Dustin, boom, man, I can tell you, like, I can find 50 places right around here. Cedar Creek Park has like 15 miles of hiking. Twin Creeks Metro Park, 7 miles of hiking. Germantown Metro Park, 7 miles of hiking. You have the Cincinnati Nature Center. Those are just for starters. So the Cincinnati Nature Center is wonderful. We went to Twin Creek Metro Park. That is wonderful, and that is challenging as well. And it's beautiful, and that's 7 miles. You can knock that out. That's what we knocked out this weekend. You might have to drive a little bit, but well worth it. Let me get some coffee here. I appreciate everybody joining me on this live. Just a reminder, every Wednesday on Instagram, at Ben the Barman, at 7 p.m. Eastern, I do a live as well. Another reminder, Black Friday through Cyber Monday deals. I'm giving out a free month of coaching. I have 4 slots of that available. You can check out my deals from my Black Friday video, or you can check out the links below after this video. If you buy a shirt or a hoodie from my site, superlivingtoday.com, you receive 3 free ebooks, all right? If you want a workout assessment, a diet assessment, or exercise form assessment, this weekend they're $10 off. And just a reminder as well, if you sign up for my power building seminar, and I have a seminar in Ohio in January, and this is going to be intense and knowledge-packed seminar. If you sign up for a seminar, you get a free month of coaching. No contract, no commitment. That's an unbeatable deal. All right, you can check out the links to that stuff below after this video. All right, enough of the commercials. Steve says, screwed up the question, what do you think about doing 2 exercises for each body part on a full body routine? You really have to, that can be challenging. And that's one of the challenges that I face when structuring a full body workout. One thing you can do is, there's different ways you can do it. Like, everybody is obsessed with 3 sets per exercise. You could do 2 sets of squats, okay? And then you could come back later in that full body workout and do, say, 3 sets of leg extensions, but do them rest pause with only 30 seconds of rest in between sets. So it comes down to fatigue management, to volume management. If you try to stick straight by the 3 sets per exercise thing, then it can get kind of tricky because you are doing a lot of exercises in a program. So it can be done. I would probably recommend only doing it for major muscle groups: back, chest, shoulders, and traps. So I hope that helped. Been on an adventure. Speaking of cauliflower, you can get frozen cauliflower tater tots that are like 500 calories for an entire bag. Yeah, I've seen that stuff. I've seen the veggie tater tots. I've seen the broccoli stuff and the cauliflower stuff. And the thing that's surprising is they are rammed with calories. So while they look healthier, where are the calories coming from, right? You can take cauliflower, which is 75 calories for a big bag. You can get a big bag of cauliflower tater tots into like 600 calories. So just know that not everything that has a vegetable in it is inherently healthy. Weed and exercise. Now, if you're going to be doing weed with exercise, you might want to be doing it in a brownie so you're not inhaling stuff. Just take care of your lungs and be reasonable. You don't want to be smoking every day. You don't want to be smoking every day. Just be reasonable with it. Stay balanced in life. Don't stay unbalanced. I don't care if that has to do with weed or alcohol or anything. Somebody just signed up for my coaching services, so I only have 3 slots left. I just got a notification. But weed, it doesn't matter if it's weed or alcohol or whatever, even pornography. If something's unbalancing your life, it's controlling you rather than you controlling it. So just stay balanced with everything. My clients are blowing up my phone. They never understand. They haven't quite figured out when I am on a live video yet. Some of them have, like Omar and Alexander, but I have like 24 clients right now, and maybe I would say 5 of them have figured out that I do a live video at the same time every day. So it's or every week. A little bit funny. Jean-Francois Gagne. Did I say that correct? Do you think that HIIT can be effective equal 1 set to failure? I don't like training to failure. What you have to understand about training to failure is that each exercise is different. The thought that we can blanketly say train to failure or don't train to failure really doesn't understand the nature of exercises. Each exercise is different. Some exercises are easy to train to failure and don't punish the body. Some exercises are difficult and inherently dangerous. What I like better than HIIT is rest pause training or block training. Instead of doing 1 set to failure, what you could do on bench press, say, is do a 3-minute set and try to get as many reps as you can in those 3 minutes. Boom, that's it. You might get 40 reps in. You rest as needed. You rack the barbell as needed. Block training is very, very intense. Rest pause training is very intense. It'll leave you very sore, which is an indicator that you're working pretty darn hard. And I find it to be an excellent muscle building tool. So I don't like anything that trains to failure. Training to failure is not a requirement to build muscle. It only adds danger to the equation. So I hope that helped. Paul Murphy. Hey, Steve, lots of news lately about how useful omega-3 supplements are. Would you recommend them? Here's the way I look at supplementation. First off, you have your priorities. If you train hard in the gym, you probably need creatine and beta-alanine. You should consider it. And these are cost effective. Now, I'm not talking about in your pre-workout. Creatine, I recommend folks, men, take about 10 grams a day just to try it out. Because if you are really a good responder to creatine, 10 grams a day just feels like a good sweet spot for me. You can take 5 grams per day if you like. Beta-alanine, you need to take 3 to 4 times a day for it to be effective over the long run. Those 2 are your base. Beyond that, you want to get your butt out into the sun and get some vitamin D and take care of your hormones. Along with that, fish oil, omega-3s, stuff like that, you want to make sure you cover your base on those things. And they are rather inexpensive. Just make sure you get a quality product, because some of the stuff that is sold at like Walmarts and Walgreens and stuff like this is crap. So you're better off spending $2 to $3 more and getting like a fish oil from MTS Nutrition at Tiger Fitness, something we know isn't crap because we make it. So it's a good backup plan. It's if you're not certain about your diet or you're not getting enough food, there's little downside to supplementing with omega-3s, especially because they're not cost effective. They're not going to break the bank. And it's just a good backup plan. It's a good safety plan because some of this stuff, quite frankly, we get conflicting studies on. But we do know that things like vitamin D and omega-3s are something the body needs, something that assists the body. So at the end of the day, when we have conflicting studies and a supplement is inexpensive, very inexpensive, like vitamin D or omega-3s, and we have a concern about it, just spend the $10. That's all I have to say. Let me grab some coffee here and get the Juggernaut strengths. Just got 4 whey protein Herbalife jars from neighbors. Is it worth using it? Herbalife is one of those annoying companies that marks their products up a lot. If you get, if you get something for free and you can validate that their protein powder isn't amino spiked and is actually useful protein, then why not use it? But if it tastes good, if it doesn't taste good, I'm not using it. David says, good morning, happy holidays. Kind of everybody click that like button. Thanks. I don't really ever worry about the like button, but I appreciate it. I'm just here to help folks. Leo, good morning, big hairy ugly dude. What's going on, Leo? Charles, and if I missed your question, post it up again. I'll try to get to it. Charles said, would it be better to get a workout assessment from you or just buy your Massive Iron book? That's a good question. Now, Massive Iron is a foundation builder. It teaches you how to maximize any program. I will say this to anybody that's watching. If you want a workout assessment, I will give you Massive Iron for free if you remind me, because I can't always remember can't always remember who I'm talking to. So if you want a workout assessment, it's only $29.99 through Cyber Monday. You get that. I'll give you Massive Iron for free. That way you cover both bases. Just hit me up on DM on Instagram or on an email after purchase, or you can leave a note on your purchase and say that I gave you this deal. Been on an adventure, hitting chest 15 sets a week. How many per week for overhead presses? 6 to 8 enough. Excuse me. So sorry to be annoying. Well, I'm always annoying. So Ben's question was hitting chest 15 sets a week. How many per week for overhead press? If you're hitting chest for 15 sets a week, I would probably not do more than 6 sets of overhead pressing, 3 sets of some type of barbell overhead press, and 3 sets of some type of dumbbell overhead press. After that, save your shoulder work for traps, save your shoulder work for maybe bulldozer laterals. I do dumbbell upright rows, stuff like that. So a little bit lighter. Good upper lower, Juggernaut Strength says, good upper lower intermediate split. My book, Massive Iron. Not kidding. My book, Massive Iron, has about 20 programs in it. It has a lot of good upper lower type of splits. Let's see, John West, stalking in the fridge in its natural habitat at 2 a.m. Yeah, I don't, luckily enough, I don't feel hungry when I get up at 2 a.m. to take a leak. So I don't do that anymore. But John's probably off there doing that right now, wherever he's at. Where is it 2 a.m. and that's probably almost over in Australia. David, if I eat late at night past 10, I'm vomiting in the middle of the night. I was forced into intermediate fast. That's pretty hardcore. If you are vomiting in the middle of the night from eating before bed, something is going on. I don't know what your weight is. The only time I would get nauseous with food intake was when I had my diabetes was really bad and I had insulin issues. So John, I'm not a doctor, but I will say that's not normal. And you could have some type of hormonal issue or insulin issue. And I'm not a doctor, but you might want to get that checked out because that doesn't sound normal. Leo Petrovsky, Is 3x6, 85% plus one as many reps as possible set good for a beginner on the bench? Also do dumbbell bench after that. Here's what I would say. Don't focus on percentages, Leo. I would do 3 sets of 6, and then the last one as many reps as possible. That's a good approach. That's a good approach. But on the 3 sets by 6, I would add weight to that 3 sets by 6 when the last set of 6 feels manageable. Felt like, all right, that wasn't so bad. I know I can add weight the next week. Bob says, I have reduced the weight. How else do you accelerate healing in your sore joints? That's a very good question. Sometimes you have to reduce the weight, you have to reduce the frequency, and quite frankly, you have to be patient. Some things take time to heal. If you have an overuse injury, which is typically what a joint injury is, or it could just be a random joint injury, it can take a while. I was running a lot this year, and I picked up some overuse injuries in the inside of my hip and on my Achilles tendon, and I really just had to chill. So there's no magical answer I can give you. I would just reduce the volume. I would reduce the intensity, and I would reduce the volume, intensity, and frequency in that area, and just be patient. Let it come to you. Let's see, Leonidas. Thoughts on eating a lot of fruit? Too much sugar? No. You're not going to get fat. You're not going to get too much sugar eating fruit unless it's an extreme amount. And most of us can't afford an extreme amount. So you're fairly safe unless your maintenance level is 5,000 calories and you're eating 4,000 calories of fruit in a day. And if that's happening, I wouldn't want to be your sphincter. Hector. Let's see. Hector, do you need a variety of accessory work for strength gains, or will 2 different exercises per body part do it? I can't say if 2 exercises per body part will do it, but you should always err on the side of a little bit more volume. We have become a culture in fitness and strength training that focuses on minimalism. Volume is a key part, plays a key role in not only hypertrophy, but strength. So I like to do some strength work. After that, I like to do some volume work. And you can check out more information on a good power building program at my site, superlivingtoday.com. It's called Power Muscle Block. And that is a very, very good system. So is 2 exercises per week per body part good enough for strength training? I'm going to say you can build strength on it, but it's certainly not optimal. I would definitely add, I don't focus on exercises so much, but I would definitely add some more set volume or rep volume. Let's see. Steve, my joints are constantly cracking and popping when I get up in the morning. And sometimes throughout the day. Is this bad? Not necessarily. I mean, hold on. I had to get rid of a notification here. And sometimes throughout the day. Is that bad? Not necessarily, no. Let's see. What do you think are the best? Whoops. Sorry, I keep getting some pop-up notifications. Give me 1 second here. All right. Steve, what do low impact exercises, excuse me, it gets any colder and nastier out here. What low impact exercises would you suggest to target the biceps? Low impact. To target the biceps, there's a couple exercises I like to do that nobody talks about. Reverse grip lat pull downs. You can really focus, instead of focusing on driving the elbow down, focus on getting a good bicep contraction. I do those for 15 rep sets. When I also generally do like cable. I get on the seated cable machine and I'll put the easy bar on and I'll do curls with the easy bar on the seated cable machine to my face. And you can really get a good bicep contraction. I do those for about 15 reps. Jonathan, what do you think is the best upper lower workout? Excuse me. What do you think is best? Lower upper workout, our full body workouts? If you could rephrase the question, Jonathan, it's really kind of confusing. It says, what do you think is best, lower upper workout or full body workouts? Or I assume you're saying or full body workouts. Don't think about things like that. Don't worry about best. Best is doing a lot of compound exercises. Best is getting strong on these compound exercises. Best is getting a reasonable amount of volume. Best is taking care of your body. And best is training in a manner that you enjoy. When it comes to frequency training, upper, lower, full body, don't worry about that. It's all going to be the same over the long run. So just do what you like. All right, guys, we're about 35 minutes in. I'm going to stay for about another 25 minutes. So if I miss your questions, post them up again. If I miss your questions at the end of this video, just go over to my Instagram at Ben the Barman and send me a DM. Slide up into my DM. Austin says, what are some questions you would consider asking someone for coaching? Not all of them, but ones most would think of. If you're going to ask me, when people come to me for coaching, and I will tell you, I screen people, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but I talk to people. I try to talk to people before they sign up because I do not want to take somebody's money. I have a lot of requests for coaching, and what I want is people that I can help. So if you are serious about getting help, you need to make sure your coach is not giving you a generic meal plan. There are far too many coaches out there who will just hand out generic meal plans and generic workouts to everybody. Like, here's my God-like meal plan. Here's my God-like workout, and they'll just adjust a little bit of macros here and there. Now, if that's what you like, go for it. But a real coach, coaching happens in the details. Like, I have clients that struggle to lose weight, and I have to constantly monitor everything, their calorie intake every single day. And we had to make a lot of adjustments over the course of 3 months. Coaching, you need to make sure that you're going to get some one-on-one assistance and that your coach is going to help you solve problems, because that is really what you're paying for, to solve problems, not to receive a generic program and a generic meal plan. If somebody's just giving you a generic meal plan and a generic program, they might as well just sell that program, because that's not coaching. So Alexander says, symptoms of dehydration, urine color. Absolutely. It's not unusual to see a darker color urine in the morning, but if you are after noon during the day and it's still fairly dark colored, that's an issue. You probably want to drink more water. Sometimes one of the biggest symptoms of dehydration is something we don't even realize, and that is general fatigue. There are many people that I coach that do not drink enough water, and I will push them to drink more water. If you drink more water, you probably need a few more electrolytes as well. But people that don't drink enough water don't really realize how it impacts their fatigue. Water is essential with recovery as well. So it can slow down recovery as well, especially when you are sleeping. So the major symptoms of dehydration, of minor dehydration, usually fly under the radar screen. Major dehydration is when you start to, when your urine is really dark colored, when you just, you start to feel sick to your stomach. I've been really dehydrated at times when hiking, and my fatigue is just like my energy just dropped like a rock. So hope that helps some. Cope Destiny, I'm interested in online coaching, been following Natural Enhance, and I have all kinds of joint problems. I need someone to rehab me. Well, you can get somebody to help you out with programming, but if you have joint problems, you probably need somebody that, I don't know if they're triggered by exercise form or not. That's something you'd have to discuss. Because if a lot of joint issues are caused by exercise form or overuse injuries. Bob Hatcher, how do you feel about using a safety bar squat instead of doing front squats? Absolutely. It's a good piece of equipment. It's absolutely worth your consideration. I don't like front squats. I just don't like the feel. I don't like the position. I don't like how they feel on my lower back. So if you're one of those people like me, then absolutely do something different. John West, best whiskey for a pre-workout. If you have fat stacks and are rich, you want Whistle Pig 12 year. It's only about $220. All right, Raphael White. I feel discomfort in my knees while squatting. Tried everything, even hired a trainer. Should I continue to push the issue? I will tell you, if Raphael, and this is the truth. If you feel discomfort in your knees, your form is off. If you went to a trainer and they can't fix that issue, I should say if you feel discomfort in your knees, there's a 90% chance that it could be from your form. There's a 10% chance that something else is going on down there, some kind of injury. But with that said, if you hired a trainer and he can't help you improve your exercise form to the point where you don't feel discomfort in your knees, you hired a really bad trainer. I'm just being honest with you. This weekend, I do exercise form assessments, only $29.99. I'd be happy to look at your squat if you want a second opinion. Ben on Adventures. Instead of training to failure, I usually do the RPE method. You can do that, or you can do my method, which is pushing sets for as many reps as possible and stopping when you feel like you might fail on the next rep. Let's see. Lightning 89. Steve, do you program deloads or just take deloads? I do not recommend programming deloads unless you are doing a very intense program that would require or demand time off, or you're doing a peaking program for powerlifting. If you look at the upcoming year, there's going to be times where you might go on vacation. There's going to be times where you're forced to take a week away from the gym for personal reasons. I like to save my time away from the gym when my life demands that I can't be at the gym. Outside of that, when I am feeling fatigued or tired or sick or whatever, that is when I take an extra day or 2 or even 3 days off from the gym. I think, this is my personal opinion, you are far better off, and most of us are far better off at killing the concept of deloads and learning to just take an extra day or 2 or 3 off when our body is beat up or when we're sick. That way you're working with your body rather than forcing things. If you're just taking deload weeks off, and then you go get sick, or you have to, something happens where your mother's in the hospital and you can't go to the gym, life is going to get in the way. I don't like to plan deloads personally. I just don't like the concept. Johnny Boy, hey buddy. John West, thoughts on pump stretch method for accessory work, doing a pump exercise followed by a stretch exercise. I'm a big fan of pump exercise. That's kind of a finisher. You can do a finisher for each body part. And if you want to stretch afterwards, excellent. I will say, though, it's not magic, and it's not going to help you build muscle any quicker. I don't care what any study says. I don't care what anybody's magic program says. I don't care what anybody's magical dogmatic belief says. Over the long run, all you need is the basics. And if you can stretch all you want after doing your pump exercise, not going to turn you into Jay Cutler or Ronnie Coleman. It might give you 1/1,000,000th of a gram more muscle mass over the course of your life. Ain't going to make a difference for naturals. So only do it if you like doing it. Grumpy Bear, for transitioning from intermediate to advanced on deadlifts, would you recommend something like 5x5 to 10x3? If you are a true advanced, you know what to do because you know your body. And I'm not being disrespectful here. But really the question, throw out the intermediate to advanced stuff then. I mean, let's just talk about transitioning. From a 5x5 to a 10x3, I don't like a lot of volume on deadlifts unless you are doing something like a 10x3. But then the weight can't be too heavy. You don't want to beat the living crap out of your body with 80% of your 1 rep max. So that's a program really anybody could run. Intermediate, beginner, even a beginner. I give beginners 10x3s on deadlifts, and I'd have them do every minute on the minute. It's helpful to help them focus on form. So that's a question that really has nothing to do with strength levels. It has a lot to do with personal choice and personal experience and how it structures into your program. I don't like 5x5s. I don't like a lot of sets of deadlifts. Deadlifts are hard. I don't like a lot of sets with a lot of reps on deadlift. I'd rather do a 10 by 3 than a 5 by 5. I'd rather knock out a triple. When I start getting into like 5 rep sets and beyond on deadlift, that's when I typically start to, it's easier to lose focus. It's easier to beat up your lower back. All right, see you, Omar. All right, guys, I got about 15 minutes left. Just a reminder, if you need coaching, I have 3 slots left. One was purchased during this video. The first month is free. That's with a 4-month commitment. If you want 3 books for free, purchase a t-shirt or hoodie over at superlivingtoday.com. If you want an exercise form assessment, a workout assessment, or a diet assessment, they're $10 off over at superlivingtoday.com. And I have a power building seminar, the Massive Arm Power Building Seminar. This is a great opportunity. I'm going to cram your head full of information for 2 straight days, correct your form. You're going to get one-on-one help. That is over. If you go to superlivingtoday.com, there's a tab that says packages. If you sign up for that seminar in Ohio, you get a free month of coaching, no commitment required after that month. So that's a great value. All right, Daniel, what are your thoughts on hammer strength, incline, and decline presses? I do a hammer strength exercise or machine exercise for each body part when I am at a commercial gym. I think it is a good backup plan after you've done bench and dumbbell bench, after you've done, say, something like push-ups. Then I like to do that because you can do it nice and controlled and get a good feel and get a good volume in without beating up your body. So I think they're good choices. Andre, when setting up a percentage-based program, do you use your old max or new max projected one? You know what? It really depends on the program. I don't like to use projected maxes because projected maxes are fairy tales. They're best case scenarios. So I like to percentage-based program, use your current 1 rep max. And then at the end of doing the program, that's when you test your new 1 rep max. Dave says, Steve, I'm 71 and I'm trying to gain muscle. I'm 5'6", 130 pounds, 12% body fat, doing an RB program in 60 minutes of list 5 days with 2 rest days. Any advice? Probably my best advice, Dave, is to a body part split's probably going to be too intense, perhaps because of the volume. I'm not sure. You sound like you're in great shape. But an upper-lower program that is a little bit flexible, upper A, upper B, lower B might be a good choice, where you rotate between workouts. And you can do those 2 days a week. You can work out 2 days a week. You can work out 4 days a week. And I would probably do 3, 4, 5 sets of 10 on exercises to get in a good amount of volume, progress safely at that point. And, there's so many variables when it comes to recovery. A 71-year-old man can be in really poor shape, and a 71-year-old man can be in really wonderful shape. So it really comes down to listening to your body, managing recovery, and getting it in enough volume where it is challenging without beating up your body. You don't want to go super heavy, meaning low rep sets. 3, 4, 5 sets of 10 on exercises is a good sweet spot of volume, and you can add weight as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1 says, how many carbs is too much? How much carbs is too much in one meal? It doesn't matter. All it comes down to on a daily basis is where your food intake is at relative to your maintenance level. So it doesn't matter how many carbs in one meal. Juggernaut strength. Tips for a beginner 17-year-old on a bulk. Cannot moderate lunch. When you are someone, it doesn't matter if you're 17 or 21, you might be in the military, might be at school, you don't have control over your food choices. If you don't have control over your food choices, you focus on the meals that you do have control over your food choices. You make sure you're getting in enough calories. You make sure you're not binge eating and overeating calories. That's rule number 1. Make sure you're getting enough calories. Rule number 2 is make sure you're getting enough protein. And then from there, you eat what you can, even if you can't control it. As long as you're not going under in calories Eat what's given to you. Make the best of what is given to you. A little bit of unhealthy food, a little bit of bad food choices isn't going to hurt you. Focus on the proteins in a meal, the chickens and the cheeses, and focus on the healthy aspects of any meal, because even a processed meal or a fast food meal has good, better, and best choices. Like you can go get a like a grilled chicken sandwich from Wendy's, and it has chicken and it has some kind of lettuce. I don't know, like romaine lettuce. And then it has the bun. The bun you can toss out. The rest of the stuff you can eat. So that, when it comes down to food choices you can't control, make sure you get in your calories and make sure, and don't worry about it too much. Just make the best of what you're given. Hamza says, how much water should we be drinking? Well, I'm not a fan of the folks that obsess with drinking too much water each day, because you know what? That's a pain in the ass. And no one wants to be running the bathroom every 20 minutes every single day of their life. With that said, you need to be getting in a minimum amount of water. Some days get away from you where you're not drinking as much, but most of us should probably aim to get in at least 60 ounces. And I'm not telling you that's all you need, but there's a lot of people out there that struggle to get 60 ounces. So anything beyond that is going to really come down to what your body feels like and how often you want to run and take a piss. Lewis, is high volume training best for working traps? I hear lots of people saying go lightweight, high volume. Don't go lightweight on anything. Anybody that tells you to do the mind muscle connection thing with traps is an idiot, because the traps are one of the strongest muscles in the human body. You can hold 800 pounds at your side. Your traps are going to help keep your arms attached to your body. So I'm not telling you necessarily to go heavy. I do like 10 to 15 rep sets on shrugs and power shrugs, but that's going to involve a heavy amount of weight. So don't sit there with 20-pound dumbbells doing this crap. That will not do jack crap for anybody. And anybody tells you it will, don't listen to them. Unfriend them. Just bought my workout assessment. Don't forget my free book. All right, Charles, I appreciate it. As soon as I get off this video, I'm going to head over to my computer in my wife's office, and I will hook you up. And I have a lot of work to do, so I'll get to that workout assessment. I'll send you an email very shortly. Lightning 89. Skinny friend wants to bulk up on 25 bananas a day. He's nuts. He loves them, and they're cheap. Is this unhealthy? You know what? You need to eat a balanced diet. You need to be reasonable. I mean, just because a food is healthy doesn't mean that's all you should eat all day long. That's not very balanced. Cheap foods, white rice is cheap as well. Oatmeal is cheap as well. A lot of foods are cheap. So is it healthy? Well, it's unbalanced. And anything that's unbalanced, I'm not a fan of. This girl I'm talking to is in skinny shape, wants to be toned, but thinks weightlifting will get her bulky. Thoughts? You can't save her soul. There's not a lot you can do. If somebody thinks weightlifting is going to make them bulky, there's not anything you can do. If they think, hey, what's going on?
I need a screwdriver.
You need a screwdriver. I can't really help you right now, but I'm in the middle of a live video. Sorry, can't really help you. I'll be done in about 5 minutes. You can't convince somebody that weightlifting is going to not make them bulky. Most men struggle to put on mass. So if a woman thinks she's going to look like Arnold, it's just silly. Been on adventure. Did you mention your wife lost a lot of weight? My wife lost 100 pounds. Morning, Thomas. Thoughts on Jeff Nippard's YouTube channel? I don't really watch anybody else's YouTube channel, to be honest with you. I've seen some of his stuff. He seems like a smart guy. Can you please give a shout out to the autistic homies in the Discord? No, I don't give shout outs to anybody. Steve, how much does beer hurt our gains? Does it hurt recovery? Only if it's unbalanced. Just keep it reasonable. Trying to breeze through your questions. Clayton, should volume be lower during the week of powerlifting meet? During the week prior to a powerlifting meet, you really shouldn't be doing a lot of anything. Ratio of compound to accessory work. There's no magic ratios. You want to have a reasonable amount of volume each week. Compound movements usually comprise about 50% of my weekly volume on a particular body part. Carl, as someone that is flirting with pre-diabetes, should I use meal timing, such as intermittent fasting? If you're struggling with diabetes, it doesn't matter really when you eat. What you need to do is focus on cleaning up your diet. No processed foods, no white flour, no white sugar, no drinks with calories. You need to really focus on cleaning up your diet. It's not so much about timing. Let's see here. How do you program your leg days with hiking days? I don't overthink it. I just hike when I want it and lift when I want. And if my leg days aren't up to par, I don't really worry about it, because at the end of the day, I'm not chained to gains. I'm chained to enjoying my life, and I just hike, and my body acclimates. My body really does. I can run and hike. Well, that didn't go well. Let's see here. Sorry about that. We just dropped my phone. Sorry about that. My body just adapted. So that's the body will adapt to stuff like that. Carlo. Sorry. It's a little bit dark and shady in here today. Do you think doing heavy 5-rep sets do you think heavy 5-rep per set for 4 sets is a good routine every now and then? Absolutely. It's okay. Let's see. Daniel, what do you think about GOMAD gallon milk a day? I don't think it's a good idea at all. I really don't. There's better ways to gain weight. Straight sets versus ramping sets, that's like, bananas versus tomatoes. It doesn't really matter. What matters is compound exercises, progressive overload, how hard you're working. You can do straight sets and you can do ramping sets, and neither of them can challenge your body. So it's kind of the wrong question. Anything will work if you're working it properly. Jean-Francois, I gradually hurt my lower back with deadlifts, form or frequency. I can no longer do squats. I tried split squats and lunges. Advice. You know what? I got to be honest, when somebody tells me they can't do an exercise, they can't do a squat or deadlift because they got hurt or something, or they have bad form, fix your form. I mean, fix your form. If something's broken, fix it. When people say they hurt their back, what should I train? If you really hurt your back, you're asking the wrong person, because I don't know what's wrong with your back. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not saying this is a case for you, but most people that come to me and say they hurt their back or hurt their knee are lying to themselves. They just don't want to do squats or deadlifts. So I don't know the nature of your injury, and I can't tell you what exercises to do if you have a real injury. But I will tell you, if you have a back injury, what is it? What is the condition? What is the back injury? If you don't have a condition, then you don't have a back injury, or you haven't seen a doctor. Gunther, I wish I had a life and a girlfriend and 25 bananas a day. Okay. Are you a whiskey drinker? Yes, I am. Opinion on 531. I feel it needs more volume. It's just a skeleton. Yeah. So yeah, you should do a reasonable amount of volume on any program. Jesse Jameson, why do trainers recommend dumbbell presses after bench? I never managed to do any because I give all my, you know what? You don't stop working hard because you're tired after your compound movements. That's the way it should be. All right. I do barbell bench and then I do dumbbell bench afterwards. Just because you're tired after a barbell exercise doesn't mean you shouldn't work harder. You continue to work hard because it'll improve your conditioning. So trainers recommend more volume after a hard exercise because it's challenging you and it's going to improve your conditioning. It's going to improve your results. That's why. All right. See ya. Any tips on getting my first pull-up? Any assistance exercises? You probably need to do a volume of assisted pull-ups for quite some time. I'm not sure where your weight is at, so that could be an issue as well. When you're sub 10% body fat, how many carbs are any tricks to curb moodiness? When you're sub 10% body fat and low carb, are there any tricks to curb moodiness? Yes. Eat more carbs. Can hack squats replace barbell back squats? No. All right, guys, that's it. Last question. I'm going to get out of here. It's been an hour. I appreciate your guys' support. Just a reminder, I'm here every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm also live on Instagram at 7 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday night. This weekend, only through Black Friday. If you need coaching, I provide a free month of coaching it requires a 4-month commitment, but the first month is free. You can find a link below to this video. I'm going to post that up after this video is done uploading. And if you purchase a Massive Iron shirt or hoodie, you get my 3 books for free. If you want a workout, a diet, or an exercise form assessment, they are $10 off this weekend only. Look for this information at superlivingtoday.com. If I did not answer your question, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman. Send me a DM. I'd be glad to help. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.